Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on a M113a2, and I'd like to say I'd just like to apologize for the video taking too long. Of course, not many people watch my channel, but I still should post a little more consistently to get more views and more people interested in the channel. I actually bought this model because, number one, I need a new model for a video, but because it comes with 2 figures, or 3 if you count the dog, and a lot of little backpacks and other items you can put on it, which any leftover can be used for other projects. Sorry if my head's in the frame a few times. I'm still, working with a really bad camera setup, but I'm doing the best I can. I initially thought this model was going to be very easy to put together because it's very simple looking, but then I realized that there's a lot of very small little parts and stuff that I have to cut off that makes it so hard to get this done.
Virus who says he still hasn't fully recovered from its effects.
After cutting out all the parts for the road wheels, I put it all together and shove them on the tank. I believe this chunky boy had 20 to 44 millimeters of armor thickness. This model had a few kind of unnecessary little nub things you had to cut off of certain parts, and in the process of doing that I cut off some other details, which is a little annoying, so watch out for that. Of course, being the fantastic modeler that I am, I fucked up the seat that the gunner is supposed to sit on and had to fix it with some really volatile putty. This greatly slowed down the process of making this model because I had to wait a few hours for the putty to dry so this piece wouldn't fall out mid putting the whole roof on and stuff, and it was generally just a really annoying thing to happen. Once that was dry, I was able to put the roof on, and this, again, was a little hard to do while having it recording because I had to put my arms around the stand that holds the camera, and I couldn't really do that without it being weird, so sorry if the footage is But of course, with the power of editing, I could just have it appear on the top of the APC. Same thing goes for the front plate, which again, I just really have trouble putting on the camera, but I managed to do it just very sloppily. Of course, it can't all be bliss and just gluing pieces together, and I had to cut off another piece and continue the suffering. I don't even know why they put that on there. It's just a nuisance. That's that part put together. And of course we just gotta glue it onto the body of the APC, and we'll get to do all the little details. You have 2 options for the things that go on the back, but I chose the things that protrude out the most because I need this model to look interesting. Got these little, I don't know what these are, but I got them together. Here's what you could have done, but I just wanted the chunkier parts on because this thing has to be beefy. When you're using this really thin glue, you have to wear a particle mask or something because it will make you very lightheaded, and I learned that very quickly. This is what it looks like pretty much done. I just have to put on the little turret and commander's cupola. Also, I just leave this little hatch open in case I need to, do something with it later for a diorama. And then I put on the little tiny lights, which were very thin plastic, so you had to be careful not to break them when you're cutting them out. Now we're going to be putting on the 50 caliber Browning machine gun and its little turret shield thing. And you just gotta love 50 BMG rounds, man. The little grips on it were very hard to put on because every time I would put it down, they'd shift a little bit, and I had to just wait for all the pieces to dry, and it was very tedious. Here's that all put together, and also I put together the little grenade launchers. Of course, I lost one of the pieces because it's fucking tiny, and they don't give you extras, so I'm just gonna have to hope that that looks accurate enough. Also, the detail on the commander's cupola and everything is very, very nice. I like that. This is what it looks like pretty much done, at least for the parts on the top and all that. The treads and the little side skirts I'm going to put on later. If you're wondering why it's black, it's because the file for the rest of the video I had made got corrupted, and yeah, and the editing program I'm using is awful, so I just the rest of the process is, there's gonna be a few steps skipped, so I'm sorry for that. And anyway, I'll post the next video of painting and weathering, and hopefully none of the files are screwed up like this one.